Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great week. I want to talk to you very quickly about two words that are commonly given as advice. The two words are have faith. Great. Everyone tells you have faith, but they don't tell you how to actually do it. Let me make it very simple for you here in a way that I know anyone can understand. Having faith is not something that is automatic. It doesn't just all of a sudden come to you. When people tell you have faith, it's like if you're starting from ground zero and you've never actually built that, well, that's why that's a little bit of a challenge for you. Having faith is something you develop. It is something you strengthen like a muscle. So here's a nice, easy, practical, simple way to do it so that when you're challenged in your life, you've already built and strengthened that faith. So when people tell you to have faith, you already have it. Here's what you do. Very simple. I want you to start looking for times in your life where you wanted something or you had a desire and eventually it showed up. Like even though you didn't expect it or you maybe wrote it off, but somehow, whether you want to call it God, source energy, whatever that is, something delivered your desire. I want you to write that down in a journal. Then I want you to think of another time where something you really desperately wanted, really were hoping for, somehow worked out. Or how about this one? Sometime where something did not work out the way you wanted, but then ultimately it worked out for your best benefit. So even though it wasn't the way you wanted to happen, you have evidence that God, or again, source energy, whatever you want to call it, had your back. If you do this enough times, eventually what you're going to have is several what I call emotional reference points. Specific times you can literally take yourself back to the past and say, you know what, this time God had my back. And this time God had my back. And this time God had my back. Does that make sense? So eventually you're going to have enough of these emotional reference points, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40. And here's what's cool. The next time you are challenged and you're told to have faith, you just go back to those and you re-remember all those times that God had your back, or all those times that things just magically happen for you. And if you have like 30, like I personally have tons of these things. So if you have like 30, 40, 50 of them, and 50 out of 50 times you have evidence that eventually it happened in the way that that had, again, the way God had your back, your faith paid off. If this happened for you 50 out of 50 times, why would number 51 be any different? It's much easier to, quote, have faith when you have that evidence to support that, like a scientist, right? So first and foremost, faith is something that you build. It's something you strengthen. It is not so easy to just have faith. You have to start building it, and I highly suggest you start building it today. And if you start building it now and you start documenting and creating these emotional reference points of all the times that God, source energy, whatever has had your back, well, guess what? The next time you're challenged, you go back to your little reference sheet like, dude, all these times God had my back. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. And then guess what? It's going to be much easier for you to have faith because you took the time to strengthen that. Doesn't that make sense? Isn't that a lot simpler? So anyway, hopefully that's very helpful. For any of you out there that are struggling or having a hard time having faith, this is what I want you to do. Now, any of you who are really into Abraham Hicks, by the way, that is very similar to a technique she uses called the focus wheel, where basically she creates these emotional reference points of all these times that your life has been beautiful. And you basically create this, almost this momentum of energy, and it's that energy that allows you to move forward. But first and foremost, very important, again, it's not a concept, it's basically like a muscle. You strengthen your faith. So start now, because if you start now, when you really need it, it'll be much easier for you to have it because you took time to strengthen that muscle. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Ciao.